that's going to be here, so we want that one. So we take one of these sticks out. And these sticks, these are just mint, what they call mint bush sticks. Or under what you might call underbody wood, or what was called underbody wood in those days. No. Now that goes into that hole here, I think it is.
Port Macquarie marks the start of New South Wales's subtropical northern coastline. Named after Lachlan Macquarie, the state's fifth governor, it was established in 1821 as a penal settlement for British convicts. Today, it's a popular tourist destination, with great surfing and a choice of breathtaking beaches. Like many towns in Australia, it also boasts a healthy choice of restaurants and cafes, which make the most of the abundant year-round fresh produce. I'm ready for breakfast, and this place promises modern Australian cuisine. Hello. Very well. I was thinking of something fruity.
Yeah.
Can you remind me what acai is?
So acai is a berry.
Yeah.
And our smoothie bowl is mixed with local fruits on top.
Oh, brilliant. I'll have that. Thanks. Thank you very much.
This is an acai bowl there for you.
Wow, now.
It's a pistachio crusted pear with our homemade granola and the chia pudding. Very good for your health. Enjoy.
I should feel good eating it.
Yeah,
Thanks
enjoy.
very much.
Thank you.
So I'm guessing this part here is where the acai lurks. It's very, very tasty. It's unusual that anything that looks that good and tastes that good does you good. Long before this stunning coastline became a playground for holidaymakers, it teemed with unique animal species. Bradshaw's tells me that all the mammals of Australia, except the dingo and bats and a small few rodents, are marsupial, or pouch-bearing. There's one which human beings regard as cute, almost like a childhood teddy. And so, over a long period, it has been mistaken for a bear, much to its own indignation, I assume. When the first colonists arrived here in the 18th century, they settled in the rich, fertile land by the sea. And today, more than 80% of Australians live within 60 miles of the coast. But the wildlife of these regions has paid a heavy price for human development. Not least one of the country's most distinctive creatures, which inhabits the eucalyptus forests and woodlands of South and East Australia. Just a few minutes' walk from the beach in the Macquarie Nature Reserve is the Koala Hospital, where they care for sick and injured animals. G'day, Shane. Shane Flanagan is the clinical director. So let's just nail this once and for all, Shane. A koala is not a bear.
Definitely not. A bear is a placental mammal. A koala is a marsupial. So their development is in a pouch, not completely inside the body.
What has been the impact of the arrival of European settlers in Australia on the koala?
The impact has been dreadful. But that applies to all wildlife, but, you know, our national icon, it's just dreadful. We have lost so many animals right across the country. There's just more and more habitats removed for human development. That's the problem.
To the extent that they are endangered?
In some areas there are endangered populations. In other areas they're still doing okay. But the way we're going, it's just going to be an exponential decline. It's shameful. We hold the highest rate of extinction of mammals in the world, Australia does. In the world. Isn't that awful?
Experts believe that the koala population has fallen from around 10 million to fewer than 100,000 since the arrival of settlers in the late 18th century. Huge numbers were killed for their fur, shipped to England and America. Koalas were finally made a protected species across Australia in 1937. But as trees continue to be cleared to build roads and houses, koalas are still endangered. What are the complaints that your patients are coming here with?
There's key threatening processes that happen to koalas. Hit by cars, attacked by dogs and disease. All of that's driven by removal of habitat. This hospital, run by the Koala Preservation Trust, conducts research into disease and behaviour, as well as caring for 250 koalas a year. I'm meeting some of the current patients with volunteer Mick Feeney. Mick, good day.
G'day. Lovely to meet you, Michael. The board, as you can see, has got a lot of patients on it, suffering from all forms of problems, maladies, injuries, disease. I think we have about 28 in our care. We have a short history of their problems.
Bushfire victim, motor vehicle accident, infection, fractured humerus. How many of these will get back into the wild?
So we have about 16 in this. They are under active care and eventual rehabilitation.
And on the other hand, we've got some permanent care ones.
They would not be viable into the wild. If you follow me, we'll go into the enclosures.
Hello.
Good morning.
I'm Michael.
Pleased to meet you, Michael.
Very good to see you, Barbara. And who is this?
This is Minnie. Her mother was killed with a dog, but fortunately Minnie wasn't injured. So I just took her into home care.
How long have you had Minnie at home?
3 months.
3 months. And how's she doing?
She's doing very well. She's now 1.5 kilos. She'll have to put on another kilo, and then she'll come into the hospital here. She'll go into the yard where there's a tree because she's never had a tree, and we won't touch her again. We call it dehumanising.
Yes.
Because she thinks I'm her mum.
Yes.
So we won't touch her, and it doesn't take them long before they don't really need to be handled again.
And this is not the first time you've done this?
No. Well, I've been here 17 years, so I've done it many times. It's lovely to see them start off little tiny things and grow and be healthy.
Is it okay to touch Minnie?
Yes, you can touch, just feel the fur, feel how soft she is.
Incredibly soft. That's extraordinary. Ooh, this is a first for me. I've never met a koala and I've never touched a koala. Barbara, is it all right to get closer to Minnie?
Yep.
Oh. Hello, Minnie. It's feeding time on the wards, and the first patient on the list is Grant. Tell me about this patient.
No, this patient, he was the victim of a collision with a goods train.
So being hit by a train, I assume his condition is quite serious.
It was very, very serious. He suffered severe fracture above the left eye socket, his left forearm, and the ear has been severely damaged. He would not be viable in the wild because of the level of disability that he has.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Michael. How are you?
I'm Margaret. Good, thank you.
Margaret, obviously you're feeding Grant. What is it you're giving him?
So this is a soya formula, but it just gives him extra oomph.
Do you think he'd take that syringe from me?
Yes, you can have a go.
He's anxious, isn't he?
He is anxious.
Hello, Grant. You are an anxious fellow.
He rather like that.
Like here?
That's it.
Yeah.
You enjoying that? At about the right rate. All right, Grant, that's the end of that one. Let's have another go for you.
And he also,
Grant, you ready? Here we go again. All right.
oh, you're a good boy.
Which one of us?
Both of you.
Oh, I really enjoyed this. Oh, Margaret, I can see what amazing satisfaction you get from this. A most heartwarming job at the hospital comes when a rescued koala can be released again into the wild. Today it's the turn of Big Guy.
Now, this looks like a pretty ideal tree for him. It's a koala food tree, and it's in his home range. So we'll place him at the base.
The small group of eucalyptus or gum trees in which koalas live is known as their home range, and there they sleep for up to 18 hours a day. Now, any precautions we need to take?
They are unpredictable. He may not agree with my choice of tree.
Right.
And may pause and choose to go and climb another one.
All right. There he is. Quite calm in the circumstances.
We lift the koala in the bag towards the tree.
Have we made a good choice? Do you like the tree?
He's considering his position, as they say.
Zoomed up the tree. See him disappearing now.
Yes.
Beyond the canopy.
Yes.
Marvellous.
This is why we do what we do.
I've been charmed by these wonderful creatures, and I'm grateful that this hospital is fighting so hard to protect their future. As the midday temperature rises, I'm looking forward to the air-conditioned train to continue my journey along the New South Wales coast. Bradshaw's has this warning. About the middle of November, summer comes in. The heat becomes great, and by the end of December, most of the rivers are dried up and vegetation has ceased. Hot winds can last 48 hours. The Australian response is to put on the sunnies, apply the sunblock, and cover the head. But I'm not convinced that my Panama looks right in Australia. I'm on the hunt for something a little more appropriate in the rural town of Kempsey. Founded in 1836, it lies around halfway between Sydney and the Queensland border and was originally a centre for logging and then the dairy industry. This company has been making the quintessential bush hat since the 1870s, when they spotted a market amongst fair-skinned settlers. Stephen, Michael, good to see you.
You too. Nice to meet you.
So, Stephen, I've been noticing the intense sunshine here, intense heat, and I just need the right hat for the climate, and I'm told that your hat is the iconic Australian hat. Is that right?
Yeah, it is actually, yeah.
Now, may I try one on?
You can try them all on.
Who was the founder of the company?
Benjamin Dunkley was the founder of the business, and my great-grandfather married his daughter, and that's how we ended up in the hat game.
Your great-grandfather married his daughter?
Yeah.
And so it's just remained in the family ever since?
That's right, yeah.
Benjamin Dunkley was a hatter from Cheshire in England. He arrived in Australia in 1874 to find the country in the grip of a rabbit epidemic. Spotting an opportunity, he invented an ingenious machine to turn their underfur into felt. In 1904, he persuaded Lancashire hatter Stephen Keir to join him, and a year later, Keir became his son-in-law. The Akubra name, taken from an Aboriginal word for head covering, was introduced in 1912, and the business is still family-run, today by Stephen Keir IV. That's very nice. What do you call that one?
That's a cattleman. That's their most popular style.
Very, very nice. What do you describe that as?
That's a traveller hat. That's called the rust. That's a new colour we've just come out with.
Anything a bit more outlandish, Stephen? Ah, now you're talking. Look at that. That's brilliant. What a great hat. Goes well with a shirt, don't you think?
It does.
Liar.
Very well.
Any idea how many hats you're making?
We make about 180,000 a year, up to about 80 different styles and a lot of different colours.
And you supply hats to the Australian military?
We do. We're the sole supplier of the slouch hat to the Australian military. We have been for quite some time.
That's so distinctive, isn't it? That's what you see in all the war movies.
Yeah, yeah. And then they clip it up the side when they march.
The company began to supply the armed forces during the First World War. And over the years, its hats have become the classic Aussie brand. You must be very proud of your family, Stephen.
Yeah, I am. I'm really proud. And we're in a business that, we feel is one of the icons of Australia, and we're really happy.
The factory employs a local workforce of around 100, and many of the jobs are still done in the traditional way.
Well, there's at least 100 sets of hands, and there's a hell of a lot of processes that goes through to make one hat.
Hello.
Hello, Michael. I'm Kev, nice to meet you.
Very good to see you. So, what are you doing to these hats?
Blocking the hats so they've got the right block, so they're the correct shape and size to go into the next process of the line. Every block's sort of different sized and different shapes as well. The steam basically makes the hat soften.
Yeah.
So the block goes in nice.
Whoa! There's a lot of weight coming down there.
Nice press. Yes, you don't get your hands caught under there.
No, keep your fingers out. And how come you can touch the metal when it's hot?
There is a trick to it. You don't actually grab it. You actually just let it sit in your hand and you release it straight away. And my hands are now desensitised from years of work in kitchens and cooking and things like that. So
the perfect training for making a hat.
That's it.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
What do you do to the hats?
I put the linings in and glue them in. Yeah,
How long have you been working here, Trudy?
30 years.
Any idea how many hats you've done in 30 years?
Oh my God, no.
How many do you do a day?
On linings, about 60 dozen a day.
That's quite a large number, isn't it?
Yes.
You are quite an experienced lady. Trudy, such a pleasure.
Yes. Okay.
Good luck to you. Bye-bye.